Hey guys, it's Andrew from National Home Mortgage. We're starting something new here, and on this first episode, I wanted to bring in a guest. He's highly accomplished in the media industry. His name is Graham Bliss. Graham,
Hey, man.
take it away.
No, good to see you, Andy. Thank you for having me on. I mean, I'm here to kind of ask him questions, in related to investing or leasing versus
Yeah,
buying. So I'm excited to kind of dive in and kind of pick your brain because, in the future, I really am looking into invest in my first property. I've
yeah,
been renting my whole life.
yeah.
So, I mean, maybe let's just start that way, right? So it's like I've only been renting my whole life. If I'm looking to buy, what are maybe three things I should do to get myself set up so I can make that first investment?
Right. No, for sure. I really do believe 100% in buying is better than renting, because when you rent, right? Every month you pay your rent. When you leave or have you stayed at the same place for
I've
your
been
whole
at
life or
this current place. I've been there for almost 2 years.
almost 2 years? And then before that, you moved from a different apartment?
Correct.
And then when you
Yes.
moved from that different apartment, how much money did you get back when you left? Exactly,
Nothing.
right.
Yeah.
That's another big plus when it comes to owning a property or a home. Even if it's just your single family home, when you leave, at least you're gonna get some money back, right? You're gonna get something, your initial investment, the equity that's built up over the years. So that's a big pro to it. And honestly, another big pro is just having your own spot. You don't have a landlord that's asking you for XYZ, or other tenants that live, neighbors that live in the building that are saying, hey, keep it down. Hey, don't do this. Hey, don't do that. It's your own
Right.
place. You get to call it yours and you get to do what you want.
So basically, like I'm building value for myself.
Right.
I'm not just paying money that's going out the window.
Exactly.
I'm paying it once or paying my mortgage, but I'm getting that property value that can increase, which is great. I'm able to have more freedom. I can do the things I want to do to my property,
Yeah.
not asking for permission. It's
Exactly.
my place. So yeah, it gets to kind of give me that feeling of, being home, which I think is really
Yeah.
valuable. So that makes a lot of sense. I mean, then actually, let's kind of backtrack and move into more about you, right? So
Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
you were just really great at giving me advice. So
Yeah.
what got you into the mortgage industry, and why should people want to work with you?
Yeah. So the truth of how I started in here, I started as a loan processor. So
Okay.
I was processing loans. I was kind of processors and underwriters are kind of the backbone of this,
Okay.
and that's how I started. But I actually got into loan origination, truthfully, because I saw the money that some of the other loan officers were making, and I was like, man, I want to try that.
Copy.
So I got into it, got my license, and then by the time I was licensed, the rates, the market, it used to be like 2%, 3% is how the interest rates were. But right after that, the Fed, they started raising the rates. I got into this business once the rates were coming up. So I was very lost at the beginning, and I was like, this is not what I was used to for the last
Yeah.
like year or so. And a lot of loan officers were leaving. I mean, I was able to learn and adapt and learn how to grow, but of course, I kind of got in at probably one of the worst times other than 2008.
Understood. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
2008. I mean, okay. Well, so with that being said, like obviously you've had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of interesting experiences. Obviously you got in at a very interesting time.
Yeah.
But with that, I mean, what are some of your favorite like success stories, or like what is the moment you love about your
Yeah.
job? Is it putting people in their dream home? Is it helping them have a clearer picture? Tell me more about that.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's not, I've changed how I look at the business too. Because originally, like I said, I was just here because I saw what the other loan officers were making. And then as I got into it, I started kind of caring more and being more involved in the business and saying, I enjoy this. I don't just do this because I get paid X amount. I do this because I genuinely do enjoy it. And I like being able to help people. I like being able to solve the problems, like AKA, you don't have a home, you want to get a home, let's get you a home, let's get you the financing you need, let's work on your credit, whatever it happens to be, because everyone has their own game plan and their own way that we need to help them get
Right.
into a home. And I really enjoy that more now, and I enjoy how people are so cheerful when they have a home, because at the end of the day, sometimes you put money down, you put less, you put more, you put nothing, right?
Right.
Everyone still consistently enjoys their home and doesn't regret it, right? A lot of the people that are clients that we've had, they they enjoy it, right? They like having their own place, and they're always grateful for being able to own their own home. And that's probably what I enjoy most about this job that I have.
I love that. I mean, again, as someone who might be potentially getting into their first, you know, property that I'm going to buy, that's like, it's cool to kind of be able to hear your angle with that because it shows like your humanity for it, right? It isn't just about the dollar amount. That is a
Yeah.
cool reason to get into it, but it's really about what you can bring to people. I mean, so with that, if I was looking for a mortgage lender, can you give me like a few
Yeah.
green flags and a few red flags that I should
Yeah.
like avoid? Like, don't work with that person or look for this. Like, what would you recommend for someone who's
Yeah.
looking for that mortgage lender or looking to get into a home? What would you recommend?
Yeah. No, for sure. A green flag, biggest green flag is having enough experience or a team around them with the experience, because that way you know they're going to get the job done how it's supposed to. And then something else is being knowledgeable, being able to answer your questions, because if you call someone and you're asking them a bunch of questions and they don't know how to answer them, right, you're gonna feel like it's going to make you feel that you can't trust them, because you're uncertain on how skillful they are at this. So that's another big green flag. Red flag, um, is just the opposite, right? Not knowing anything, right? Not being able to help you with a single part or single question or anything that you may have. Um, pick, Not picking up the phone at midnight is not a red flag, by the way.
Got
But
it. Right, right.
we've all been there. But
Right.
those are some of the biggest things that I'd say, because as long as you have that, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
You'll be able to get into the home. You'll know what you're doing, and you'll feel comfortable with buying this home because you know enough to comfortably say, yes, this is what I want to do.
I mean, so then we can segue into let's say I finally found that mortgage lender. I'm working with you.
Yeah.
I'm having a great experience. What are like a couple ways that I can make our conversation easier? How can I help you as my mortgage lender, and how can I prepare myself to get into my first home, to get an
Yeah.
easier meeting with you to get into that home?
Yeah, for sure. So, biggest thing is just getting what's needed in a timely manner. So, I can't do everything I need to do if you also are not cooperating, as in sending documents in a timely manner, sending the entire document, so all the pages, preferably if you can a PDF, but if you can't, that's fine. Just make sure you get good pictures or good scans of every page where it shows completely the entire page and it's not blurry. Those are probably some of the biggest things that I commonly see buyers, like borrowers is what we call them in this industry, getting wrong and delaying the process because of that.
Interesting. I mean,
So as long as you're someone that's willing to do their part, then this can be as smoothly as any other transaction.
and with that being said, too, isn't it like is it okay? Is it true that if I had, let's say there's multiple people bidding for a house
Yeah.
and I bid for a house, but I'm not pre-approved, that basically puts me in the back of the line, even if my offer is above someone else, right? So it really is in my favor to be pre-approved, right? Like that's
No, it's
yeah,
true. It's true. Because let's say you put yourself in their shoes. You're a seller, right? You received a bunch of offers. You're going through the offers. You're looking to see who you're going to pick. And you see someone sent, let's say it's the highest offer, but they said they're getting a loan, but there's no pre-approval. You're going to feel uncertain about picking that option. So you might as well at that point pick the next best thing, because they are pre-approved, and they're pre-approved by, right, a good company as well, like a well-established company that consistently does their job and does it correctly. um, but that
well,
I really recommend getting pre-approved before you start looking for a house.
right. And with all this, I mean, that all makes sense, right? What your job is to put me in a better position to get the bid, put me in a better position to understand what I can afford, so I
Right.
can actually look for a home. So even not just when you're ready to bid, but getting pre-approved before you look for something sets you up to know what you can actually afford. So
Exactly.
right, again, your job is to really make that buyer's perspective into buying a home much more fluid, much easier, and I think that's really powerful. I mean, let me get this right. Like you have worked with your father, right, through this
Yeah.
company. So what has that been like for you? Like, did you learn through him? Have you taken like a different angle to it? Like, tell me
Well,
more about that.
my father's always been a very hands-off, training type of person. With me, he helps out the other people, but I don't know what, I might be because his son. He wants me to get it down a little differently,
Learn
but
from experience.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah.
really like, hey. go do this. How do I do it? I'm not sure. Figure it out. And I'm like, okay, thanks. And then I figure it out eventually. But that's kind of how I've learned with him, or he'll just give me files and he'll be like, do this, do that to him. And then I'm like, well, how? And he's like, figure it out. And I'm like, okay. And I figure it out. Sometimes he does help me he helped me at the beginning with certain things, but now it's a lot of, this has to get done. How do I do it? Figure it out. And
Yeah.
I mean, I always figure it out. I ask for help. I find out people that know it, and he does help here and there, but it's not the same. It might be because he's my dad, right? He wants to um, show a little more, I guess, tough
Yeah,
love, you could call it.
for sure.
So that's how it's been with him, but I don't mind it. I
Yeah.
like it. And it helps me learn it a lot better than if I were to kind of have it given to me in a way where I can't go through the whole process myself.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think maybe like, can you tell me more of what you and him bring as a team? Because you guys are
Yeah.
working underneath the same roof. So even though you're kind of going about
Yeah.
it in similar ways, but you're learning for it for yourself, he's doing his own thing, he's been in this for years. Why would people come to you guys? What do you think you guys bring to the mortgage lending like scene, basically,
Yeah.
right?
Right. No, for sure. So the biggest advantage I'd say that we have is we are always here. Like we're always, I kind of say I'm never working, but I'm always working, is how I say it. And it's true. If you have questions, I'm always going to be here to help you. Because to be honest with you, you can go look around at different lenders and you're going to notice a lot of them are somewhat similar at the end of the day, right? Because of the way loans work. Now, of course, there are some lenders that the rates are going to be higher, and there's some that the rates are going to be lower. Our rates tend to be on the lower end, right? And that helps out as well because when you're looking to buy, you want to get the better rates that are that are available from the due to the market, depending on the market. And then, but the biggest advantage is just us, right? Having us there, we've got a good team established right now, right? The processing moves smoothly, moves quickly. Um, from start to finish, we're gonna be there along the way. So even though for a certain part, I'm not going to be doing as much, right? Because the processor's doing more parts there, or let's say the closer, the funder, right?
Right.
I'm still going to be there along the process, and if there's any questions, you can still reach out to me. So
Right.
it's not like this is a conveyor belt, and once you're done with me, you move to the next person, and I never pick up the phone again, right? That's
Right.
another big benefit. And then we're local in the area, right?
And
But
where are you guys located again?
we're in Berwyn.
Okay,
We're in Berwyn,
Berlin.
yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
Cool.
so right on what is it? East? No, west from Chicago.
Okay.
Little southwest. Yeah,
Cool. I mean,
but
what I like about this, what you're basically telling me is like the reason to get a mortgage lender, there's a lot of value in getting a mortgage lender. They set you up for the right position. You get to know what you can afford. And when you have that, you have a much clearer picture, a much better chance of getting the home you
yeah,
want. But also for you guys are personable. You guys have been in
right,
this for years. Your dad helped you learn about the business. You're this team that is really focus, you guys are family, but you want to make your people who come in feel like family and get, again, the mortgage rate, the awareness that they need to get that purchase.
right.
So, I mean, I think that's really great. And I've really learned a lot just talking with you today. So, thank you for telling me more about your passion when it comes to mortgage lending and how you help families at National Home Mortgage. And again, thank you for answering like all of my questions. So, there's anyone who's in my position, how can they best, contact you?
Yeah, for sure. Before that though, Graham, I just want to say thanks again for being on here, for the questions you have, giving us the perspective of the average home buyer and the questions that they have, and for giving us your expertise, being able to tell some of the loan officers and realtors out there what they need to do to get their social media game up.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yes, really all you need to do is below there's going to be some information about myself and us, the team, and National Home Mortgage. Use that information to either give us a call or a message, and we'll get something scheduled with you so that we can get you started on the home buying process. See you guys on the next video, though. Graham, thanks again for being here.
Thank you.
See you guys in the next one.